So recently, well not recently, but a while back, a YouTuber that I watched called Ahoy, 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 okay. So a while back, a YouTuber that I watched called Ahoy made a video on the XCOM franchise. This guy, he makes a lot of videos on like older weaponry in video games and just older video games in general. Definitely check him out, he makes really great content. And check out the video, XCOM video that I mentioned. But in this video, he went into depth on a XCOM game called XCOM UFO Defense. And I knew immediately just by watching like seconds of gameplay that I love this game. So when a Steam sale hit, I literally picked this game up for $1, and I can honestly say that I'm very disappointed in the Steam release. This game is literally unplayable in this version. However, in the open XCOM port, the game is fantastic. There's resolution options, multiple ways of gameplay, including other game modes, and mod support. So definitely pick up XCOM, but get open XCOM so you can get all these features. What even is this game, and why is it such a great game? Well, I'd love to talk about and share with all the wonderful people of the world who have never heard this game or heard it through Ahoy's video and watch my video. Thank you. Because hopefully you'll get more insight into my personal experience with this game and just a few goofs and gaffes and laughs along the way. I don't know. So without further ado, let's just jump right into this review. For starters, what is XCOM UFO Defense? It's a turn-based strategy game that has you, the player, take the helm of the XCOM project. There are two different modes of play, a geoscape mode and a battlescape mode. Geoscape gives you a large-scale view of Earth with real-world countries like Japan, Europe, and the United States, and sort of acts as a real-time work clock with UFOs whizzing by, and your job to shoot them down. These UFOs have 4 different scenarios. They can either be shot down and a crash site mission occurs, wherein you send troops to investigate said crash site. They can just be straight up blown up and no chance of salvage or obtaining any alien materials. They can just straight up land anywhere on the map, leading to an investigation site, or they can land in a populated area of the map, leading to a terror mission in which they attack unarmed civilians. Any of these scenarios occur, excluding blowing up the UFO, you enter the battlescape portion. The battlescape portion is where you take control of your XCOM soldiers and engage the aliens in one-on-one combat. You equip your soldiers with weapons and armor and have them face the aliens head on. And let me just say, this game is brutal. I played on the easiest difficulty, and it took me about 4 runs to actually beat this game. All because of some super small error or some oversight that I overlooked, and everything just went to shit. So let's go through a basic run of XCOM so that you can hopefully learn from my mistakes if you are playing this game and avoid them so that you have an easier time than I did. So how do we stop the alien threat? How do we combat these aliens? Well, we have pistols and rifles, and they have plasma rifles and auto-guiding rockets. Where am I going with this? I don't know. You start up a new game and you're given a chance to place a base anywhere on the map. You place it, name it, and get right to work. When starting out, you're given 2 interceptor vehicles and a Sky Ranger vessel. The interceptors are used to engage UFOs or outright destroy them, whereas the Sky Ranger vessel is used to transport your troops to and from battlescape portions. Along with that, you're given some basic utilities, such as a living quarters for storing scientists, engineers, and soldiers, a research center for researching various alien tech to aid in combating the alien threat, a workspace station to produce various materials and equipment to gear your troops up for further encounters, and a storage center that stores ammo, guns, and other stuff. With that, you are officially off in your XCOM journey, defending the Earth from the alien menace. Though there is another goal in this game, and that is to appease the Council, who generously provides you funding to keep the XCOM project afloat. Don't engage in UFOs or terror missions, and the Council will decrease funding. The Council is made up of all the different countries that are under attack by the alien menace. China, Russia, USA, etc. And depending on which country or region is attacked, will depend on where the alien threat is coming from and which country will provide funding if you engage in those terror missions. For example, if there is a terror mission going on in China and you don't engage in that terror mission, China will withdraw their funding. Same happens for Russia and the USA. Don't shoot down UFOs or engage in terror missions, and the council will decrease their funding. Do this enough times and they will fully withdraw from the XCOM project, leading to humanity's demise or just a game over. There is another way to fail, but we'll get into that later. Whilst in the geoscape portion of combat, you have 3 different modes of engaging these UFOs. You have a standoff attack, which is a medium to long range attack. You have an aggressive attack, which is a close range attack, and a standoff attack, which is a long range attack. All 3 of these modes increase or decrease your chance of taking out the UFO, and in return increase/decrease the chance of you taking damage or your vehicle being destroyed. The UFO crashed down, hopefully on dry land, because if it's in the water, then it's completely screwed. You send out your Sky Ranger to investigate the crash site. Here is where you encounter one of the many alien races in the battlescape portion. First off, the sectoids. The sectoids are your basic run-of-the-mill Martian men or little men with big eyes. However, they do have a trick up their sleeve in that they can utilize this psychic technique to instill fear in your soldiers or outright control them. They're often paired up with these mini flying saucers called cyber discs, and each alien race in this game usually has a support unit that differs from the alien species. For this one, it is the cyber disc. Also, I'd like to mention how adorable these little guys look in the game. They look absolutely adorable. It's probably gonna be my new YouTube profile picture. Up next is the mutons. The mutons are your heavy/brute types of this game. They are extremely resilient and aggressive, sporting high defenses and often packing high firepower. They're often supported with these like jelly leg things. I don't know what their names are. Editor, put them up here. But this one like just walks around the battlefield spreading fire around, and this other one can float and spew acid. So there's that. Next we got the floaters. The floaters are pretty odd. They're usually the first alien race that you'll encounter in the game, and depending on that, they can pack weak alien weaponry as well as some very powerful alien weaponry. They can often be found with these giant monstrosities known as Reapers, which are like these 2-legged frog alien things that deal only melee damage. They're not a weak alien type, but not a strong one. The floaters kind of remain in this limbo that's kind of hard to put a bracket in on them on terms of their difficulty. The Snakemen are another basic unit in the game. Nothing really too special to them. They can appear a lot in number and pack some heavy munitions as well. But the real standout piece of this faction is the alien species that they're paired up with, and that is the Chrysalid. They are a high defense melee unit that will infect other soldiers and civilians and turn them into this zombie-like creature. However, once you take out this zombie-like creature, yeah, another Chrysalid is hatched. So if there's ever a Snakeman mission, whether it be a crashed UFO or a terror mission, just be warned that there could be a Chrysalid lurking about, and it should be of the utmost priority. Lastly, we have the Ethereals. The Ethereals are kind of strange. They're these alien humanoid species that are surprisingly very weak, but have devastatingly powerful psionic capabilities. They are very rare as they're only found in the late game, and they're paired with these mechanical Reaper suit things. They aren't much of a threat though, but the Ethereals themselves are super dangerous. Their psionic ability is unmatched by all their units in the game, and even a single unit can possess a huge threat to your soldiers. Speaking of your soldiers are your main line of defense against the alien threats one-on-one in the battlescape portion. These units come in all shapes and sizes. Brave men and women ready to give their lives for the good of the country and the good of the XCOM project. Or run away like pansies at the first sight of battle. Your soldiers rank up gradually as they're deployed into more and more combat zones, increasing a wide variety of stats. But be careful though, as your units are super expandable. Even after developing power armor and personal armor for these guys, they can still die in one shot. You can't have some gung-ho Doom guy or Noble 6 lone wolf soldier. You have to have every unit cooperating to truly be effective.
If you manage to capture or kill all of the aliens, you win this battlescape portion.
lose all of your soldiers or have them mind controlled, and you lose, and you even lose the Sky Ranger or whatever you brought your units in on. An even more severe penalty, which, like I mentioned before, this game is pretty friggin' brutal. And at the time of me writing this portion of the video, I still didn't beat the game, and I was on beginner difficulty. I had about 3 great runs that all died super early because of some super small flaw. However, after a few tries, I was actually able to beat this game. So after capturing a few aliens, whether it be from crashed UFOs or terror missions, your soldiers will automatically interrogate the aliens. Some of the aliens will even confess to being controlled by a hive mind-like entity. However, more information must be obtained, as some of these aliens, the low-ranking officials, don't know where this hive mind-like entity is located. Like your XCOM troops sits a hierarchy of aliens, ranging from lowly soldiers to high-ranking alien commanders. These commanders and leaders are often stationed at command rooms in UFO battleships or UFO bases. After capturing alien leaders or commanders, you finally learn the location of this alien brain creature and gain a final research option called Cydonia or Bust. Bust a fucking nut, more like. Realizing the alien threat won't cease, you turn your gaze towards the stars, wherein the alien's home base resides on a section of Mars called Cydonia. With it, this alien brain-like creature that's responsible for upholding this invasion. With no other option, you send your troops in the best replication of alien technology, i.e. the best vehicle in the game, the Avenger, to launch a counterattack against the aliens. This is your only option, as you'll eventually lose this war against the aliens, as the Council will pull out of the XCOM project one by one, either by you not doing anything, or them being mind controlled and forced to pull out of the XCOM project. Seriously. If you fail to engage in terror missions or engage in UFOs head on, those could be aliens that infiltrate these countries, thus invading that country's council member and mind controlling them or forcing them to pull out of the XCOM project. So you rally your best troops and launch into the climactic final level of this game, Cydonia or Bust. Here on Cydonia, every alien type can be encountered: sectoid, muton, ethereal, anything. I hope you packed and trained enough Psy troops as well, because these ethereals and sectoids do not mess around. They will constantly mind control your units and make them fire against your own men. But you can always just pull out a blaster launcher and angle a rocket towards their little window and blow them up. After clearing out enough aliens, or all of them, you make a mad dash for the alien's subterranean base.
Alright, almost there, almost there. Oh, he's out of time units. Shit. Oh, he's left outside. He won't come with us in the portal? Damn it. Ugh, I gotta save. No soldier left behind, man. I mean, come on. I'll definitely be able to get him in the portal the next turn, for sure. Alright. Good alien control. Oh, dude. I'm sorry, man. But I can't fucking miss that later.
In here lies the alien brain, hidden in this giant sprawling labyrinth with aliens hiding behind every corner. Actually, a cool part for me in this mission, little side note here, was that I didn't know you were actually able to mind control chrysalids, and I was actually able to mind control one and have it attack its brethren and kill it. It was actually super dope. Hate to bring it up here, but I need to show you this one cool shot I did. So this chick is deadlocked in a room facing off against a chrysalid, and I honestly can't have any more of these little bastards running around. So I aim up my blaster launcher guy right here to fire a shot around some of these banks into her room, and just watch this. These blaster launchers are freaking ridiculous. Just the amount of points I pinpointed, and it followed it to a T. But RIP to my one soldier here. That it wasn't your fault. It was more mine. I didn't know you'd, face up against a chrysalid right there, and you kind of ran out of time units. So RIP. RIP to this XCOM soldier. I got blown up. Fucking chrysalid. After scouring through this giant labyrinth, you eventually find the alien brain and a bunch of chairs. What do they do, just watch this thing all day? It's kind of odd. Anywho, just waltz up to the thing, feed it a blaster rocker, oh my god, blaster launcher rocket. That is a mouthful. Anywho, just waltz up to the thing, fire a blaster launcher rocket, and that's the end of the game. In a last-ditch effort, the alien brain will actually confess to the XCOM units that these aliens are actually our ancestors, and through our cooperation, aka surrender, we will be able to thrive with them. But we ain't taking that shit. Just blow the bitch up, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is XCOM UFO Defense. I'll be honest, I had 3 really good saves that I thought would win, but failed over some super minute issue. But on this save, that took me a month, mind you, I actually managed to beat the game. Though finding out about this game through Ahoy's video, getting it, playing it, and then getting absolutely curb stomped, but then actually finally managing to beating it was such an amazing experience. So now I want to go into detail about the game's many systems, like its gameplay, mechanics, soundtrack, artwork, just to really show you all my appreciation for this game and appreciation to Ahoy's video. So let's get into that. Okay, so I'll start with the graphics first, and right off the bat, they are incredible. The way the guns are detailed and the way your soldiers move and the aliens move, it's just such a joy to watch. Even the chrysalid transformation animation, which is horrifying in, context, is still so cool. Even the in-game artwork for this UFOpedia, which acts sort of like a guide containing all the research notes and ship notes that are taken throughout the game. But the different ship models and alien research notes are so freaking cool. With all the alien guts just sprown out for the world to see, it's just so cool and so detailed. The animations I feel deserve to be mentioned as well. While they are pretty basic, they're still very detailed. The way your soldiers shoot and die sounds kind of morbid, I know, but it's funny looking. Next up is the sound design and music, which I gotta say is incredible as well. The alien guns, rifles, and big-ass boom sound effects are all insanely cool, and I really love them. Even the alien death sounds, which I think are from Doom, or for wherever Doom got them from, like some stock sound effect website or stock sound from the 80s, is in this game. It sounds awesome. It's funny, because like, I went into this game expecting, just regular, not even expecting a Doom sound effect. I'm like, wait, that sounds like the Doom sound effect. And it is a Doom sound effect, because if you play Doom, that's what they sound like. I don't know where I'm going from this. Other aliens as well make different sounds, which I think are reused from another stock website, but that's not a stock website, but another stock CD from the 80s. This sounds cool, regardless. That's what I'm trying to get at. But even the sounds the soldiers make while they're walking is hilarious. The little pity pats on metal and floor. It's like, for some reason it's sped up like super fast, even though it doesn't look like the soldiers are moving that fast. It's just all really funny and adds a little bit of charm to the game, I think.
Are you guys going trick-or-treating?
I want to talk about the music real quick, because when I initially played this game, I didn't really much care for the music, but as I played it more and more, the tracks eventually grew on me. For instance, the main intro theme. The main intro theme is superbly done. I don't know if superbly is a word, but it's really well done. It's very ominous and oppressive, but very straightforward. You know exactly what you're getting into when you play this game. That ominous, like, synth drum beat, as it just grows and grows, and that droning, it just really evokes that feeling of almost helplessness against an unparalleled force. I don't know if that's the right sentence, but aliens. However, the Geoscape theme is awesome. It perfectly encapsulates what this game is about. A world on the brink of invasion, scrounging up every possible resource to combat this alien threat. It's honestly so groovy. Another great theme is the actual Interceptor theme, or like the alien Geoscape combat theme. This is when you engage UFOs head-on in combat, and it's just awesome. A very groovy retro synthwave track. The crash site theme also really nails the feeling of this mission. You finally nail down a UFO, but you're really cautious as you don't know what you're going up against, but that excitement of actually crashing UFO is still in your head. And finally, my favorite theme of the game being the Battlescape theme. Going from mission to mission, listening to all these groovy tracks and almost like uplifting music, and then just going to complete darkness in this track. It is so eerie and like ominous. It is just insane. It almost gives me like Digimon World 3 vibes. It is insane. There's also the end theme, which also doesn't need no explanation. It's just an amazing track. The soundtrack, while being short, is honestly really good. While I said at first I didn't like listening to it, it kind of got annoying. Over time, it does kind of grow on you. So if you haven't played this game or just don't care to play this game, I would suggest at least checking out the soundtrack. There's probably something you'll find in there that you like. So for the gameplay, the game functions as essentially two different games, the Geoscape portion and the Battlescape portion. The Geoscape portion being your resource management game and the Battlescape portion being your RTS/strategy game. Although they are technically both strategy games, as in the Battlescape portion affects the Geoscape portion, as if you don't perform well in the Battlescape, you'll lose soldiers, so on and so forth, etc., etc. But both are wicked fun to play. Building up your base, researching alien tech, and equipping your soldiers is such a fun grind. And to actually see your soldiers perform well in battle, and for them to rank up, is so cool. And even the Battlescape portion, with the shots that you land, the risky maneuvers that you take, and the stories that just unfold from these moments, they all just add to the experience and are incredible. I have so many stories from this game that I'll share in the later portion of this video because I don't want to bog you down with all the details while we're going into explanations on the actual gameplay. So, on to the next portion. The only real annoyance I have with the Geoscape portion is that when UFOs are shot down over water, they sink to the ocean, meaning that they are unrecoverable. I know there is a XCOM game that takes place underwater, and it would have been nice to have a connection between the two or an update, perhaps through OpenXCOM. There probably is, I'm just a friggin' idiot who doesn't know how to install that, but it would have been nice to have somehow connect those two games in the OpenXCOM port, or just have like a underwater like crash site segment where you lift the UFO out of the water or something. That, and having to connect your facilities in the base creation segment, as these facilities take like 32 days to construct. It's really annoying and really cumbersome to wait that long when I want to build, for example, more general stores, which leads me to my next segment about that, in that a notification for having them full or at capacity would have been nice. Whereas when you go and try and buy something in the base segment, it doesn't allow you because your general stores are full. Why not just have like a little notification at the top of the actual base segment where it says general stores or something, so that I can preemptively build another general store that takes like 30 or so days to build. It's really annoying. And now we get on to the Battlescape portion. The Battlescape portion functions as a real-time strategy game wherein you command your soldiers using time units to move and interact with the world. You command your units to go out and fight against the alien menace, and there are so many ways of combat. You can stun and capture aliens, shoot them with plasma rifles, you could even mind control them, have them light a grenade, throw it at their feet, and explode, which is what I'd often do because it was just so hilarious. You can even mind control them and have them drop all their guns and ammunition and have them walk towards you for an easy capture. You can bring tanks, use smoke grenades to disrupt visibility, you can use these mind probe things to identify high value targets, you can even use these med kits to patch up wounded soldiers, and you can even use these stun batons that are used in capturing aliens. You can use them against your soldiers to save them from dying. There's just so many systems at play in this game, it's insane. There are so many ways of combat in this game, it's so fleshed out and detailed, and is really the main reason why I've loved this game, as I've made so many great memories and stories just from these combat scenarios alone. Like this time I was using the auto-guiding rocket launcher dubbed the blaster launcher, which is literally like the best weapon in the game, as it just goes on a track and you can just track any target. This was when I was first using it, and I was trying to make it go upward and like avoid the trees, but then go down kind of like a decline, like a hill. And I forgot to compensate that all of my units were still in the Avenger, and just shot it up and it killed all of my units. So there's a blaster launcher guide for you. Don't shoot it in the in the spacecraft.
I am aware. Those are my Rangers that die every time a Jaeger falls, which is why I'm asking you for one last chance, one final assault with everything we've...
Or the time I tried to create a really cool breaching technique wherein I had all of my troops equip hover armor and hover above the UFO. I had like 5 or 6 guys because I had all the rest of the guys planted at the ground. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have A team breach through the roof and then B team go in the bottom. And I had all my hover guys go on the top, use explosive dynamite or the breaching charge or whatever it's called, throw it at the ground, stand back, wait a few turns, and...
Are we rushing in? Or are we going sneaky beaky like the bomb has been dropped?
Bomb has been planted.
Oh, back! Back up! Back!
Terrorists win.
Nothing happened because the UFO had like some super secret armor or something. It was annoying, but it was kind of funny at the same time. Last story, as I have so many stories, this video could be hours long. But the last one is where I had all of my troops out on a terror mission and my base got raided by aliens. And I only had about 4 troops in my base that had no armor, and I was being raided by mutons with blaster launchers. Like, it was complete overkill, and I actually lost a save because of this. It's just one of the many ways and like things, I guess, of how hard this game is. It's insane. I know I say insane a lot, but it's crazy. There you go. Oh man.
Anyways, back to what I was saying about the battle escape.
There are also multiple modes of fire for your soldiers to take. Snapshot is a quick and short cost of time units. This mode often has the lowest accuracy, so use it sparingly unless the aimed shot is available. A costly time unit shot, but high accuracy. Use this when you really need to take a unit out or make a shot count. And auto fire, which is a 3-round burst in the selected direction of your target. This should really only be used at close range, as at farther ranges the accuracy can really falter. In the end though, the game is wicked fun to play and does control really nicely. The only really thing that bothers me is the actual learning curve. Like learning about time units and how to get the best accuracy checks can be really frustrating at first. Like at the time of me recording this video, I had no idea what the auto shot was and barely used it in my playthroughs. If I had known what it was, and the game told me or showed me in a tutorial, then I could be better able to use this ability and possibly have won a lot earlier. And the whole RNG system of having shots miss can also be a little bit frustrating, but it adds so much tension and excitement to the game. When you nail that alien from far away, or even just land a shot, it's awesome. And another mechanic that I almost missed is the hidden movement. Whenever you end your turn, this hidden movement will come on your screen, indicating that the aliens are moving, and you can even hear their footsteps as they're entering doors or exiting their alien spacecraft. This means that the aliens are moving around the map, but since you don't have a soldier there that has a visual on them, they can just move freely throughout the map and be anywhere. This also adds a ton of tension to the game, as you don't know where the aliens are, as they could be planning an ambush or just simply hiding out in their spacecraft. The minor grievances that I have with the game are: 1. Priming grenades. Why does it take a whole round for these grenades to go off? With such a variety, it's almost kind of useless to even carry these things into combat, as that whole round, there's so many different variables that can occur. With hand grenades, proximity mines, smoke grenades, and even alien grenades, it's honestly really difficult to even use these and build a strategy around them. And with these stun launchers, for some reason, I feel like most of my guys have super low time units when they carry these things. I do have them carry a plasma rifle in their offhand though, which could be a reason why they have such low time units. I'm not 100%, but even with that, they still have around 50, and it's still super hard for them to get an aimed shot off because of their low time units. I always have to rely on snapshots, which are super unreliable at times, as I probably have footage right here of me missing snapshots of the stun launcher. And again, with the armor thing, having your soldiers equip the best armor for them to only die in one shot is still super frustrating. Resources that go into the armor is just way too costly for them to just die in one shot. It really doesn't make any sense. Also, another quick tidbit, it would have been nice for the game to tell you that tanks take up 4 spots on your shuttles, as I didn't know this and I bought a tank for one of my playthroughs and never used it because I could never equip it on my spacecraft. It just sat there because I didn't know it took up 4 units. It would have been nice if the game told me that. A huge annoyance is the actual equip screen when initially dropping into crash sites and such. For some reason, the auto-equip thing is just garbage. Like, why on earth are you giving rookies blaster launchers? Why are people with 0 Psy-Amp or Psionic ability getting Psy-Amps? You also should have some soldiers having numerous amounts of grenades, while others don't even have a single one. It can get really frustrating sometimes having to constantly equip every soldier with the right gear because the auto system is hot garbage. And when you get the bigger ship that can hold 26 crewmates, having to go one by one to equip everyone is a nightmare. With all of my grievances and annoyances aside, I still really enjoy this game's combat system. It's really fun and exciting and very unpredictable at times. Seriously, you'll have some sort of insane chaotic moment and it'll just be a memory or a story with you for life. Lastly though, I want to get into this game's story or premise and discuss that a little bit. The whole premise of this game, appeasing the council, fighting off aliens, and defending the Earth from an unknown threat is fucking awesome. I really love this concept too, as it draws so many parallels to one of my favorite movies of all time, Pacific Rim. Going in making this video, I thought of countless funny memes I can make based off of Pacific Rim in this game, and you've seen a few already, but as I was making them, I just thought of how close the two were in scope that it just made me love this game even more. And I know I didn't title this video a review, but it wouldn't make it a proper Salty Google video if I didn't give it a review. Now, I think this is going to be a rough one, as there are a lot of little minor annoyances in this game that really kind of hold it back, but I really enjoy my time with this game. Like, I really enjoy my time with this game. So, with that being said, I gotta give it a fat 7-3. I would have scored it higher, but as I mentioned, those minor annoyances, like little quality of life things, just really hold it back from truly being great. But I still love this game nonetheless, and I couldn't have made this video without Ahoy's video, so a big shout out to him. Like, his video is really great. It really goes in depth on the whole XCOM franchise as a whole, and it leads to me talking about this game. Seriously, go check out his channel. He makes a lot of great stuff. He even talks about like histories of guns in video games and old video game series like Doom. What's the other Doom one? Quake. People are gonna fucking go ballistic that I said the Doom one, but those game series. But check him out. He makes a lot of great videos. And hey, you know, Ahoy, if you ever do see this video, possibly, I don't know. Thanks, man. You know, that video was amazing, and it led to me and the wonderful people of the world to discover the XCOM franchise and this game, and it allowed for me to talk about this game with my wonderful audience. So I can't thank you enough. You know, cheers, man. I appreciate it. And with that, that's going to be the end of this video or review, if you will. Thank you all so much for watching and waiting. I cannot thank you all enough for if you did make it to the end. I mean, even if you just clicked on the video and said, screw it, I appreciate the time that you've taken to actually just, you know, engage in my content that I make. It's a really big, I can't think of words right now, but it's a really big thing. I don't know. But thank you all so much for watching, and apologies for the lack of content. I've just been kind of figuring out my life right now, trying to, you know, myriad of things. And we even hit 2,000 subscribers on this channel like a few days ago. I was like so amazed. I was like, holy crap. So, wow, that was very late. I gotta do something special. I got a buttload of Digimon cards right there, and yeah, you know, I still like making videos. They're just a little time consuming, and I'm still trying to figure things out right now. But I just cannot give you guys enough appreciation for watching this video till its end, and I don't know, just watching. So do what you guys do, you know, every YouTuber will say, subscribe, like, and all that crap, but hey.
Alright, so my camera died. I was filming the outro. But yeah, thank you guys again for watching. I really do appreciate you all. And yeah, more videos to come. Hopefully not too sad of ones. I got another kind of sad one to make, but it's actually good timing for something that's like to go down, like a game that's shutting down, which I don't want to get into now, but wow, that one was also very late. This sucks. It's kind of a little uplifting story, I would say. Kind of like the core TikTok one, but I will say it has some good messaging behind it. And again, I also want to reiterate, just thinking about that video, all the comments, all the positive comments, I appreciate you all. So yeah,
yeah, man, hey, hello from Jamaica, hey, 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 hey. Listen, man, subscribe to Salty Cool Kid 101, the best channel on YouTube. Yeah, man, Baba Boy, and follow him on Twitch at Salty Cool Kid 101. Hey, bye now, me brothers. Yeah, man.
also I'm gonna open up this Digimon pack sometime soon, so for 2,000 subscribers. So stay tuned for that, because I'm stoked. I've had this for a while. I've been building up a little reserve, kind of like Max Mofo does, but I'm gonna copy him. I'm just gonna say I'm outright copying him, but it's with Digimon instead of Pokemon. So screw off. Watch the video. I'm kidding. This is, I don't know. Yeah. Love y'all. Stay safe. Bye.